Okay, now here we are in DesignSpark Mechanical. First thing I'm going to do is set some units. So go to File, DesignSpark. Now we're on metric at the moment, so we'll change that to imperial. Also, I'm going to change the grid size because this is quite a largish job. So instead of 1/8 of an inch here, I'm going to change that to 1 inch. And say OK to that. Now we're in here, so we'll see we've got 5 inches now is that length. So that's good. Now looking at the sketch that this chap has sent me, the size of the bar top is 61 inches wide by 43 deep, and because of the way it's got it dimensioned, we can make this in with just 2 rectangles the same size. It appears to work out beforehand your workflow by looking at the dimensions and say, well, I can make that one and I can duplicate it a few times. You don't have to make the same thing more than once, like reinventing the wheel. So we'll go to our rectangle and we'll drag out a rectangle, and the width 18, tab 43, return. Right, now S for select, drag and select that, M for move, hold the control key, grab the green arrow and drag it over. We've got 2 of them. We can turn that one 90 degrees, type 90, return, put the hub on the corner, select up to that corner, then T for trim, click twice. Whoops, now that went wrong, didn't it? It selected that line, but we want that line. Well, there's our L shape, and you will find that that's 18 plus 43, which is 61. That's 43, of course. Perfect. Now the thing we want to do now is P for pull, make it into a solid, select it, 2 inches thick, 2, type 2, return. Right, got a 3D solid now. Now I'm going to press the H key for home to see which is in fact the home side. There we are. Now this is the top of the bar, excuse me, and this is the underside. So that's what we'll be working on to make our surround. Now before I go any further, the first thing I'm going to do is to make this solid into a component. We select it, right click and move to a new component. Now what that does is it prevents this solid being merged with other parts I'm going to draw into it. So that's worth noting. So we'll turn this over so we can get at the underside and square it up with, we'll select the fat face and square it up nicely. Whoops. Then I'm going to draw a very thin rectangle on here to represent the front panel. So it will stretch from edge to edge. I'm going to make it 1/2 inch thick. So we'll start it here, run it over, and we see there's 61 inches. That's good. Tab to the other one, 2 inches. No, I'm going to make that 0.5. Return. Now P for pull, or select the pull tool. See, we've got a surface here which is not in here. Hopefully that will never get merged. So select that edge, get at it. That's it. And we're going to make that, I'm going to have this bar top surface 3'6" from the floor, which is 42 inches. And it's 2 inches thick, so that's 40 inches. H key. So that's the beauty of finding out where the top is. Just hit the H key and you can see how far you've got. Now this is of course not necessarily in the right place. And before we go any further, I'm going to make that into component. Now there's going to be buttons fastened on here, and I know how thick they're going to be. For convenience, I'm going to make those 1 inch thick, those buttons. So I know how far this has to be from this face here for everything to be flush, the buttons to be flush. So we'll select that component, component 2, move and up to that face there. Now see what I did wrong there? I didn't move that to the surface. You can tell it's on the surface by the fact that the hub part becomes square. So now if I do that, it will come flush. So now I can move it 1 inch, drag it, type 1, return. So that's in the correct place. So that I can keep track of everything, another thing I'm going to do is to rename these parts. Click away from everything to get rid of all the selections on here. Move to the top now. This is the bar top, so I'm going to right click, rename, bar top. And here, oh dear, see what's happened? Gotta be careful. It tends to be a bit too clever at times, this program. I'm going to rename that, not bar top 2, that's going to be front panel. Return. I'm going to do this again. Rename bar top 1. Now that we've got the front panel on, we can put some buttons on. Now the top button is going to be 1 inch by 4 inch, right across the top underneath the bar top. So we'll select our rectangle, select the front that we're going to write on or draw on, square it up, and then we're going to put this button on here, so the full width, and we're going to make it 4 inches. Then we say P for pull. We've got a surface up here. We're going to pull that out 1 inch. 1. And there it is. And before we do anything, we'll make this solid and move it into a new component, so that makes it separate. So we'll call that component. We'll type in front, top, button. Now it needs to be moved upwards, so we'll select it. Now we can select it several ways, of course. We all know this. We can select the solid, then move. We can select that if we like. Then up to, and we need to select this face under here. And I did it again. Control. Forgot to move the handle. We've got to move this handle up to there. Then we can do our up to. And there's the first button in place. Now there's a button across the bottom. This one is 1 by 6 inches. Select the rectangle, select the face, V for vertical. Now we can select it right on the corner, and we can do this more or less. Now we are 6 by 61. Click, pull, 1, solid there, right click, move to new component. So there's 2 buttons on. Now we need 2 vertical buttons at each side. We'll name this component. Rename front bottom button. So again, rectangle, or we can press R for rectangle. There we are. So now we can select down here. This is also going to be 4. Now we can, now we can't. So we can type 4 tab and move that to there. We'll do 2 at once here, shall we? Another one here. Four tab. There we are. Pull. Now see, look. See what's happened here. This is turned into one surface. So can we, if I made that 1, does the other one come out at 1? No. So where is this one? Ah, it's up here. 1. So we can select both of these. With them both selected, we can right click and we can make each to a new component. Well, so we've got 2 new components here. Rename front upright 1. Oh, him. Two. Now there's a few more to put in. There's a horizontal one, which is going to be a 1x3. So again, rectangle, select the face, and I think we can draw these straight into here. Move somewhere just above halfway. Right, then we want one in the middle. Now I can't get it halfway, but we can adjust it later on. Oh, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. P for pull. 1. 1. 1. Now see what's happened? We've now got these merged, which is not what we want. So they've all merged into one solid. So I'm going to back out of that. And see we've got this one as a solid. We'll right click, move to new component, and we'll click these three. Oops. And say 1, and we've got 3 more solids. 1, 2, 3. Reach a new component. Right. Now, as I said, this middle one is not in the middle. So I'm going to say S to select it, M to move it, and I'm just going to move it 0.5. Let's put it in the correct position. Great. Now then, here's the thing. We've made a front panel. Of all separate parts, so they're still all separate. So what I'm going to do now is we've got the bar top, and everything else is the front panel. So I'm going to close these up. But what we can do is right click on the very top part of the tree and collapse. Then open it up. And I've got these parts. Now I haven't given these names yet, but I'll do that in a minute. So all these parts apart from the bar top we'll select, right click, and move to new component. So I'm going to call this, right click, rename, front panel, assembly. Which means I can close this up. If I select that with the move tool activated and grab this handle, I can move the whole thing. H. I've just noticed something before I forget. I'm going to now that I've got sub-assembly in here, I'm going to rename this Design 3, rename it bar assembly. So the bar assembly will become an assembly of assemblies. And the next one we're going to do, of course, is this end one. Again, we're going to need a side panel. So rectangle, select the surface, V, and then we're going to put a side panel in here. And it's going to be half, so it's got to go inside here, up to the end, and that's that length. Saying 2 inches at the left hand side here, we're going to need that to be ½ inch. Okay, then P for pull, 40. That should match up with the other one. Yes, it does. Solid, right click it, move to new component, side panel. So select the solid, move that to the surface. Great, I remembered this time. Take that up to there, and then we're going to move it 1 inch away. There we go. Whoops. No. H. Rectangle. Now we want to put a button in the top. We've already got the rectangle. See, there's the button in the top. We're going to match that one. So we'll there's the top button, and the bottom button is going to be the same as this one here. So again, Don't seem to be able to get it onto here. It's going too far. Let's bring it in a bit. I want it there. That's it. Bit of a pull. That one and that one selected. One, two solids. Right click. Move to new component. Right click. Oops. Right click. Component. More solids. There we are. That one. Right click. Name. Side. Top. Button. Side. Bottom. Then more 1x4s down here. Put them in directly. I'll have to type it. 4 tab. And here. 4 tab. Click. Pull. I'm holding the control key here while I'm clicking these two. And then 1, 2 more solids. Move to new component. Right click. Oh, right. Cancel. Right click again. That's better. And I see there is again a horizontal button and one vertical one. So now watch this. Select it. V. It's a 1x3, so we'll just put it anywhere. That's 3. Pull. Select it. 1. Before we do anything, we'll move to new. Now we'll see it's not level with that. But if we triple click it, 1, 2, 3, that's selected it. M for move. We can move this to the top, then up to that there, and now we've got it the same height as that button. And the last button is going to be down the middle of here. Fortunately, we have got a middle, but with 3, so we can't get that half, so we'll have to put it in and then move it half a inch to the left. Pull one, move new component, side, central button. There's S for select, move 0.5, H, now I think there is a button in this end here that just to support that corner, so we'll put a button in just to get that corner sorted out. So again, we've got a rectangle, select one, the face we're going to draw on, V, okay, now this is 2.5, it's going to be 1, click, that's it. And P for pull. Now shall I make this 3 or 4? Oh, I'll just make it 3. Another one here. Rectangle, select, V, .5, tab, okay, P for pull, three. Okay, right click, move to new component, right click here, right click, move to new component. So that's this one. Rename. Which one is it? Front. Yeah. And this one is here. Side video. And virtually that is the construction finished. H. Press D for the design mode so we can see it. Now it's, oops, you're showing a sketch plane, because we've got the sketch plane highlighted here because we had selected that. But if we go to select, we should be able to move. There we are. Now if you think this projection makes it look a bit odd, to make it look more lifelike, here's a little thing you can do. Over here we've got this camera mode, and there's two modes in it: orthographic, which has got a little square around it, which is the mode we're using, or perspective. Now there you are, that looks a bit more lifelike, doesn't it? Now this chap wants to know how you can make these bits and pieces transparent so you can see what's going on behind. Not much at the moment, but suppose we select the tabletop with the bar top here, go to colour. Oh no, what we're going to do is use the solid, so it's like a dark green, a greeny, of course. But we go to that and move this slider way down, about a quarter of the way. Click, and there we are. We see through the top. We'll still see the top, but we'll see through it. Now, of course, you can make all these bits transparent if you wish. Front panel, I don't know whether it works. No, you've got to front panel assembly. Wait, front panel, does that one work? Try that. No, can't do it. So we've got to go to front panel, select the solid, go to the colour, drag the slider, and now we can see through the front panel. And right now then, we've got these assemblies or components. Now there's several components that are not renamed, but they're within the front panel assembly, which of course means that you can move the whole assembly. Now side panel, all these side bits, these are all side bits. If we close them up, selected them, control click, no, shift click, and right click, move to new component, that's moved all these into one component, which is component 10. So now we should be able to move the side panel. I've included that button, the right hand button, and the side panel, which is wrong. That button should be on the front panel. I'm going to rename this now side panel. Whoops, side. Oh, it's misspelled anyway. But front panel, so I can drag it and put it into the front panel. So that should be now in the front panel. I think we'll correct the spelling, rename front panel. Front panel, move, side panel, H. And there you can see all the bits and pieces. Now if you hover on an assembly, the whole assembly lights up, telling you that that part of it is in that assembly there. So if we open it up, select it, see it's that side panel, open the side panel, get to the solid, display, color. Okay. I can see through the back of that panel to the buttons. Well, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that and hope it can be useful to you. Catch you all again sometime in the future. Bye for now. Bye.